when a lot of people hear ketchup and fries, you're probably thinking something along this lines, not something like this that's out in your garden. Well, every spring when we're going through those catalogs too, sometimes we find some of those novelty plants that we just can't help but try as well, including this tomato that's called ketchup and fries. Now, it has that name because it's actually a tomato that is grafted onto a potato, which makes sense. They're both in the same plant family. Now, I was a little surprised when we got these in. They were very tiny plants early this spring, and the rootstock, which is the potato, had a much smaller stem than the stem of the tomato. So I was a little leery as to whether they were going to make it or not. But as you can see, we have 3 plants that have successfully taken off out here this summer. And we are getting some nice cherry tomatoes on top. Now, the thing, if you're into horticulture and you realize this, tomatoes are a warm season crop, whereas potatoes here in Oklahoma, we plant those as a cool season crop. So I'm a little skeptical about how well our potatoes are going to do after being out here all summer long. And I will admit, we kind of did this a little different than what they say to do. And that is, you're actually supposed to plant the graft down into the ground. Typically, when you have a graft union, you want that graft union to be above the soil so that you don't allow that scion or that upper growth to root itself. The idea here is to go ahead and let the tomato root itself so that you have that rootstock growing as well. So if you look here, we've got our potato growing underneath, and in fact, we even have some potato suckers that have started to come up. And we've got the nice cherry tomatoes on top. And right here is that graft union. And in fact, we do have the hint that there are a couple of potatoes that are being produced down there if you kind of dig around. So we're going to wait till a little later in the season before we actually harvest this. Now, what it suggests is to, when your season starts to slow down, go ahead and trim off your tomatoes and ripen any ones that might still be pink and allow those to ripen, and then harvest your potatoes. So we're going to give it a little more time before we actually go after those potatoes and see what's underneath there. So in the meantime, we're still enjoying our delicious cherry tomatoes, and I'll report back later in the season to see if we have any fries to go along with our ketchup. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.